What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, guys, so this video is going to be a tad bit different. And what I mean is that a while back, I told you guys that I wanted to do more playlists over different villains in the Marvel universe, villains that you guys might actually care for. And so with that being said, a while back, we actually did create one playlist for one villain, and that character was Tombstone. Of course, one of the many Spider-Man villains. But then I told myself, why not do other playlists over other villains as well? And so today, we are going to begin our coverage, our playlist over the character known as Rhino. Because Rhino was a Spider-Man villain, but after he first appeared in Spider-Man comics, he actually jumped over into Hulk comics to fight against the Hulk. And honestly, we haven't covered a lot of Hulk books either, so why not start now? And so this is the first time the Hulk and Rhino have fought against each other. And honestly, it's a pretty cool fight. I like it because it's a tad bit funny for Rhino fighting against the Hulk. You'll see what I mean as we go through this book. Now, the first time the Incredible Hulk had actually fought against the Rhino actually took place in Incredible Hulk number 104. Now, the first page of this book is actually reminding us that the Hulk is in prison. Now, the reason why the Hulk is in prison because at the end of Incredible Hulk number 103, he was actually captured by the police because the police was able to use some kind of gas that turned the Hulk back into Bruce Banner, and of course, they were able to arrest him. And so with that being said, that is why the Hulk is right now locked up in prison. So that's why if you're wondering, hey, why is the Hulk in prison? That is why right there. Now, that is the moment we actually do jump over to Rhino himself. Now, this is actually Rhino's only second appearance ever in Marvel Comics, because after Amazing Spider-Man number 41 and 42, where the Rhino first appeared in, and after he had lost to Spider-Man, Marvel basically put Rhino on the back burner to be used later. And of course, that meant right now with the Incredible Hulk number 104. Now, when it came to Rhino, after losing to Spider-Man back in Amazing Spider-Man number 41 and 42, the Rhino actually lost his suit. And back then in Marvel Comics, if Rhino did not have his suit, he was technically not Rhino. He was just your regular big, huge guy that just walked around. The suit basically made Rhino Rhino, but without the suit, he was no longer Rhino. And so with the Incredible Hulk number 104, a couple scientists actually paid to get Rhino out of jail. And when they did that, they basically told Rhino they had a way to give him a newer version of his Rhino suit, a stronger version. And so right after they kind of got him out of jail, they took him back over to their lab, began to run some tests on him, and gave him a newer version of his Rhino suit, and he became the Rhino. You do have the scientists tell Rhino, okay, listen, we helped you get your suit or a newer suit. Now you must help us. Here's our goal. We want you to fight the Hulk because the Hulk is the strongest being on the planet. Well, they say that in this book right here. But either way, you do have the scientists say the Hulk is the strongest being on the planet. If you're able to actually defeat him, then that makes you the strongest being on the planet. And of course, you have the Rhino down to fight against the Hulk. Now, we actually do jump back over to the Hulk, and right now you have the book kind of remind us some of the important characters that surrounded the Hulk at this point in Marvel Comics. Like, for example, Betty Ross, the love interest of the Hulk at this point in Marvel Comics, and her father, General Ross, who's right now in charge of the military, and the military is right now taking the Hulk to a different facility that was made to possibly possibly hold the Hulk. Now, those two characters are right now with the Hulk as he's knocked out, but being transported over to that new facility the military has. Now, with that being said, though, there is another character, and that character is Rick Jones. Now, Rick Jones is a close friend of the Hulk who's right now watching TV to only see that his friend was captured and being transported somewhere else. And so right now you have Rick Jones say, I gotta help my friend out. I gotta help out Bruce Banner. But that is the moment we actually do jump over to Rhino attacking the truck that is transporting Bruce Banner. Now, of course, this does catch the military off guard, but they realize that the Rhino is only here to get Bruce Banner. And so with that being said, you do have the military begin the process of trying to fight against Rhino. But of course, they do not stand a chance at all. Now, you would think that Bruce Banner would turn into the Hulk and help the military out, but he can't because the military kept using that same gas that turned the Hulk into Bruce Banner, and they're using the gas as a way to keep Bruce Banner as Bruce Banner, to keep him unconscious so that he cannot turn into the Hulk, because their big fear was if Bruce turns into the Hulk, he could get away, and that is a huge problem. And so right now it's only up to the military to fight against Rhino. But of course, that is the moment you have Rhino being able to grab Bruce Banner, get on the helicopter with the two scientists who wanted the Hulk, and they're about to fly away with Bruce Banner. And it looks like the military had just failed. But the military is actually saved by Rick Jones, because you have Rick Jones come out of nowhere, use his car as a way to fly in the air to crash into the chopper. And with that happening, of course, it does wake up Bruce Banner. And with Bruce Banner waking up and being scared and angry, we all know what that means next. Bruce Banner turns into the Hulk. And now we're about to see the Hulk fight against Rhino for the first time ever in Marvel Comics. And so, of course, it does lead into a big battle between the Rhino and the Hulk. Now, this battle is pretty even, and I want you guys to remember, when it came to Marvel Comics, they did make sure that the Hulk was a powerful character, but he wasn't as powerful as he is right now in the present day. Back then, at this point in Marvel Comics, he was actually pretty even with a lot of characters. And so to see the Rhino here right now being able to go toe to toe with the Hulk is actually pretty impressive, because again, back in the old days in Marvel Comics, the Hulk was powerful, but he wasn't as powerful as he is right now in Marvel Comics. But either way though, you do have the Hulk and Rhino go back and forth, but while they're fighting against one another, that is the moment we see that one of the scientists that kind of helped Rhino be the Rhino again was able to grab Betty Ross, because apparently everyone knows that the Hulk truly cares for Betty Ross. And so with that guy grabbing Betty Ross, of course, now you have the Hulk kind of like, okay, now my main goal is to save her, to get her somewhere safe before something possibly happens to her. Now you have the Hulk being able to save Betty Ross, and once he's able to save Betty Ross and put her somewhere safe away from the scientist and Rhino, we do get round 2 of the fight between the Hulk and Rhino. Now this is the moment you really can say that the Hulk is more powerful than Rhino, which we already knew, but this book shows you how powerful the Hulk is when he's fighting against Rhino, because you do have Rhino try his best to fight against the Hulk, but no matter what, the Hulk is a very powerful character for Rhino to try to fight against, because you have Hulk just beating down on Rhino left and right, and you have Rhino keep coming back for more, hoping that he can possibly actually defeat the Hulk. But then again, you have the Hulk continue to just beat down on Rhino. Now with the fight finally done, at the end, you actually do have the Hulk want Rhino to tell tell the world that he is the strongest in the world, that he is better than Rhino. But here comes the problem though. You have the Hulk say that Rhino is actually dead. Now, of course, we know in Marvel Comics, no one stays dead except Uncle Ben. But either way though, we do know at this point right now, Rhino is not dead. To the Hulk, Rhino may seem be dead, but of course, Rhino is not dead at all. And matter of fact, we'll see Rhino again in more Hulk comics down the road. But you didn't have the Hulk just walk away after realizing that he was able to defeat the Rhino. Now, after you had the Hulk being able to defeat the Rhino, you then have Hulk realize that Betty Ross is actually back with her father, General Ross. Now, here's something I do want to mention when it comes to Betty Ross. Betty Ross is in love with Bruce Banner, and she's okay with Bruce Banner. But when it comes to the Hulk, there is sometimes in the Hulk history that she's actually scared of the Hulk and want the Hulk to leave her alone, even though she knows that Bruce Banner is the Hulk. With that being said though, right now, she just wants the Hulk to leave her alone because again, at this moment, she's kind of scared of the Hulk. But the Hulk is just like Bruce Banner, meaning that the Hulk truly cares for Betty Ross. And so you have the book end with the Hulk going back down, grabbing Betty Ross and just running away. And that is actually the end of this book and this video. And so with that being said, I do hope you enjoy today's comic book video. And if you do, please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.